Hi, I'm Callum and I'll be showing you around the handover on the Chausson C717 which is a 2020 model. Once you arrive on site or you want to charge your vehicle, you get your hookup lead, pull the collar back, go to your hookup point which is on your passenger side, slide the collar back until you hear it click in, and then to unhook there's a small blue lever on the left hand side of the cap and you can pull it off. Always hook the vehicle up first and then the sight, as we don't want you walking around with a live lead should your lead be damaged or should it be wet. We don't want you getting an electric shock. And in this locker here, which is called your Techni box, you have your freshwater intake. Just get your hose pipe and fill it until it overflows if you want a full tank, or fill it and you can see inside the level that your fresh water you're carrying. If you were wild camping, you'd have to take a full tank of fresh water with you. If you are going to a site, tend to travel with a maximum of 20 litres, stop off and use the toilet or have a cup of tea. And if you do have a full tank, you've got this little drain here. This allows all the water out apart from 20 litres. And then the other drain is on underneath the van, which I'll show you in a second. And then you do have your onboard charger, your fuses for your 12-volt side and your main trips. So what I would go and do is buy some spare blade fuses, carry them with you, because if they do blow a fuse you can fix your problem. And you've got your trips here, so should your kettle, toaster or hairdryer trip your van out, try here first before you try the site. And your main drain is just located underneath the van. Just here there'll be a black little bung just about here, so it's just a push fit, so in the winter or when you want to drain the tank, just pull that off and the water will just fall onto the floor. This is your flue for your boiler and your heater. Don't need to do anything with it, it's just an exhaust for your onboard heating system. And under this filler here you do have your hot and cold external shower, so you'll have a bullfinch fitting on one side and a trigger gun on the other, and then you can put it on and turn it to your desired temperature. Make sure the pump's on to pressurise the water, and then you can use the external shower for the dogs, the bikes, the boots or the kids. In the back here you've got your rear garage. This is your rear garage space, so your carpets are in there. There is your external shower, so one end and trigger gun the other. Your garage is heated by the diesel heating. It's also got a 12-volt point and a 240 socket in here. There's a light the other side should you need to access it in the dark. And then on the back of the vehicle you've got your high level brake light, your built-in reverse camera, and then your bars should you require a bike rack. These are where the body is strengthened to take a bike rack. And if you ever want to put parking sensors on, the bumper has already got spaces for the parking sensors to put on the back panel. On the driver's side at the rear you've got your garage and you've got your gas locker, so your LPG, liquid petroleum gas, and inside it fits one 6 kilogram propane gas bottle, so you'll need to get an adjustable spanner, left hand thread, and then tighten up, and then you can turn it on at the top of the bottle. One full turn and it just means it's easier to turn off should there be any problems with gas. And you've also got your main gas shut off for your external barbecue, which is the next thing I will talk about. Here is your external gas barbecue point, and here is your bullfinch connection. So this end goes into the van like so, and then you'll need a Jubilee clip and some gas pipe to connect it to your Kadak or external barbecue, and you can turn on and off from in the gas locker. Behind the rear driver's wheel you've got your wastewater, so if you just pull this lever here you can open the tank and drain it off. Normally you drive over a grid on the way out of a site and dump your grey waste. And here you have your toilet, so your toilet's up there. This is where all your business ends up in the cassette. So to get it out, just lift the orange handle and pull out. We'll only pull out if the slide door is shut. You've got wheels there to take around the site without carrying it when it's full and empty. Take the cap off, go to your waste disposal point, which is normally beside or behind the toilet block. Press the button. This allows a bit of air and stops it glugging, and tip it out. once it's tipped out, there's normally a tap. Put some water in and give it a rinse and tip out again. And then if you are using the liquid, cap full of liquid into the cassette. If you are using the tablet form, which are like dishwasher tablets in the cellophane, put about a pint of water into the cassette and drop one straight down the toilet, and it'll break up onto the liquid. To operate your Fiamma awning, use the winding handle and wind until you can reach inside the canopy. So about there. And then you do have two legs, so if you just pull the top or pull the bottom, lower the leg. You've got a small nut here, so if you lower it, you get your telescopic legs, you can choose your height. Peg your feet out, do it on both sides. Should it be windy, or you go out for the day, or leave the van unattended, take the awning in. Got a sea wheel on the front of it, so should you want a blow up air awning, you can clip it on the front. And you've got a rafter bar in the back garage which clips on here and at the front to just give it a bit more support when it's out. So to store away, close your legs back in and clip them back in, and then you can wind it back in. Once inside the vehicle, to operate your main control panel, press the on button, you'll get a green light. And this will either give you 12 volt if you aren't hooked up, or 240 volts if you are, and it will indicate there when you are on mains electric. Next to it you've got your master switch for all your lights, and then they are all individually switched around the vehicle. And then you have your pump, so you've got to have your pump on to use your toilet, your kitchen taps, your shower and your exterior shower, as this pressurises the water, but don't put your pump on should there be no water in the system. You've got your awning light, which looks the same as the down lights inside the vehicle, but it's the other way around. And this is the light above your habitation door. And then come down to the bottom, you've got a picture of a trailer. This is showing the back end of the motorhome, so this is your leisure battery reading, which is showing full, but will give a true reading when the hookup's taken out. And then you have a picture of a truck, which is your fade engine battery, which is shown in the green. And you've got one with some water wavy lines. This is your fresh water, so it's saying that we've got about just over half a tank of fresh water on board. And then once your waste does get full, this one here, you'll get a red little line next to it, which is indicating that you need to take your van to get the waste emptied. So to operate your Truma Combi digital control panel, if you press and hold until it wakes up, and then you can go into it. So the thermometer in the van is the temperature of the van, so you've got all the way to off, I've got all the way to 30 degrees. So for this we'll just say 24 degrees, and then you press the wheel to save it. Going along, you've got your water, so you've got off, eco, hot or boost. Boost prioritises the water to the heating. You've got hot, you've got eco, which uses a little bit less of the energy source you're running off. So for this we'll just say hot, and then you just press enter. Don't put your water on unless you've got water in the system. And then you've got your energy source, you've got a gas bottle and two electricity signs here, so this is the source you're going to be using. So you've got fuel, so diesel on its own. You've got a mixture of 1 kilowatt of electric and diesel. You've got a mixture of 2 kilowatts of electric and diesel, so in the winter you'll probably want to use this to either heat your water up quicker or your van. But if you are on a site, don't waste your diesel and use either electric on 1 kilowatt if you're on a smaller CL site. But most caravan and camping sites in this country, you can use 2 kilowatts of electric, which is electric 2. And then you do have your fan. So you have it on eco or high, so if you're wild camping you'd probably want it on eco because it uses a lot less of the 12 volt, but if you were hooked up you can have it on high. Coming down the bottom you've got your timer, so you can time the heating to come on and off once. So on a morning you have the clock that displays on the front of the digital display there, and then you have a spanner, so if you go all the way to reset you can reset the boiler if you do get a warning triangle in the middle. And to turn off you just press and hold until it goes off. To use your Dometic fridge, if you just press and hold you'll get your light that comes on, and then there at the moment it's on automatic, and it's automatically gone to mains electric. So if I was to take the electric out now and the gas was to be open, it would automatically switch over to the gas, or if we were to start the engine, it would go over to the 12 volt keep cool setting. You can manually override, so we're on mains electric on manual. We're on 12 volt, but it's showing a code 6 because the engine isn't running, and the battery is only designed to keep the temperature of the fridge the same. So the idea here is to cool the fridge on gas or electric before you go away. So if you are on electric and you keep this near your house or at a storage yard, with electric you can hook the vehicle up the night before you go away, allow it to cool with the shopping in, and then when you do depart, your shopping should be nice and fresh. Put on the 12 volt setting and it will keep it nice and cool when you're travelling. And then you do have gas on its own, and then come to this side, you've got your temperature. With the gas on automatic, it will wait 20 minutes before igniting on gas. This is a safety feature, so if you were pulling into a forecourt to fill up with diesel, that it wouldn't ignite, because that's the last thing you want happen at a petrol station. So it's designed to wait 20 minutes unless put on manual mode. And then you do have your fridge with freezer box, and in the winter if you just pull this blue tab out, it stops the fridge door from closing all the way and allows air in to stop any mold or bacteria growing in the kitchen area. You've got 2 gas burners, 1 electric on mains electric hot plate. You've got your grill and oven. Take these out when travelling, as they'll cause a lot of vibration and noise. You've got a storage drawer there, got your cupboards, and you have your cutlery drawer. You've got a mains 3-pin socket when hooked up, and then to open all your overhead lockers, you've got a catch just on the bottom here, so if you pinch that, you'll be able to open up. This is how the water operates in the kitchen. So as long as the pump's on, you hear the pump kick in and the water will work there. In the winter, when winter rising, if you leave your taps open in the middle position, it just allows any water that's in the pipe and to stop out, and it stops any airlocks. To operate your fed cassette toilet, just make sure the pump's on. You'll be able to press the blue button, which will flush the toilet, and then you've got the slide on the bottom. If you slide it to your right, it'll deposit the waste into the cassette. This must be closed to get the cassette out, like I said, outside. And once the cassette is full, this will indicate red, which means you need to take the cassette out of the vehicle and take it to the waste disposal point and empty it. To operate your telly, turn off and on at the top. You've got a source button, which will either do Freeview or satellite. So if you ever get a satellite fitted to the vehicle, it is satellite ready, this TV. And then when you do want to retune the TV, so you'll have to do this every time you move sites, big AQT orange button here, if you just press and hold, you'll get a blue screen on there, and it's automatically running a digital auto tune. This is your solar panel regulator here, which is indicating there's 2 batteries to charge. And then should you want to change the charge, if you just press this button here, it'll give you a 1, 2, it'll go up in numbers, which is explained in your book, which charge it'll give each battery. And you do have your meter, which shows what current charge is going into both batteries and what levels they are at. Above you've got your MaxView Roma Wi-Fi system, which we will run through tomorrow when you're here. Now in the cab, I'll run through your cab controls. So on the left of the driver, you've got your cruise control, and to the bottom you've got your speed limiter, and on the side you've got your, so if you've had to press the brake, you can resume your cruise control to the speed it was set at previously, and you can increase and decrease your speed limiter or cruise control without pressing the accelerator. You've got your indicators and your lights. This side you've got your wipers, and on the end of the stalk you've got your trip computers, which runs through the range on the range, the MPG, the consumption, the travelling times and the distance you have travelled. And you have your fog lights here, so just down to the side you've got your fog lights, your headlight adjustment and your alarm. So to operate your alarm, if you put your ignition on, this is to turn your ultrasonic sensors off. Put your ignition on, put your ignition off, press and hold, it'll flash until it stops flashing. And what that has done is it's turned your ultrasonics off, so you can now arm the vehicle with yourselves or a dog in, and the alarm won't go off, but it will still arm the perimeter. On the driver's door you've got your electric window adjustments and your electric mirrors, which does the top and the blind spot. Your handbrake is down to your right. You've got your 6-speed manual gearbox with lift the collar, and you'll have your reverse camera which works there and works when going forward in all 6 forward gears. ASR off's just another word for traction control off, so should you have been on a wet pitch and you want to get off to stop the wheel spinning, turn your traction control off. You've got your hazards, this locks your cab doors, you've got your heated mirrors, so should they be wet or misty they'll clear up nicely for great visibility. You've got your temperature on the outside ring and your fan speed on the in. It must be on at least 1 or more for the aircon to work. And then you've got your distribution, so this is where the air is going, and your circulation, so you can either bring fresh air in or recirculate the air that's inside the vehicle. You've got 2 USBs here for your head unit, so this is for streaming your music and connecting your devices to the head unit. You've got a 12-volt and a USB there for charging. You've got your glove box and this box here, which is heated and cooled by the air conditioning. Then on the windscreen you've got your cab blinds which meet in the middle, and then you can put, if it's going to be a blustery night, put something around the handles, elastic band or bobble, just to keep the blinds from opening. And then on the cab you've got, if you pinch them, you've got your cab brightness blinds. Underneath the bonnet you've got your, on here this is your alarm switch for your bonnet. You've got your weight plate here, so it's 3.5 ton gross vehicle weight, and you've got your front and back axle weights, and you've also got your HO number, which is your unique build number from when it was Chausson. You've got your paint code here for the Fate White. You've got your brake fluid, radiator fluid to fill that. This lifts off, but the main one you're going to want in the corner, which is your screen wash when you're out about on the road. And then you've got your oil filler and dipstick here. And to give a jump start, your earth is there, or receive one, and your positive, so if you put your key in and lift this cover up, your positive is there for your red jump lead.